Welcome to Week 10 of the BTFL. We start off with the 09 Saints at the 90 Bills. We start off with Reggie Bush getting the punt return. He weaves around defenders. Whoop! He makes it into Bills territory, getting the ball close to the red zone. Next play, Drew Brees. No pressure in his face. He gives it to Robert Meacham, and Robert Meacham walks into the end zone to make it a 7-0 lead. Thermal, he takes the left-hand toss and he makes it into Saints territory. And then Jim Kelly rolls to his left, throws the wheel route to Thermal, getting it into the red zone. And then Jim Kelly makes a big mistake throwing a red zone interception to Tracy Porter. Drew Brees playing it dangerous in his own end zone, throwing it deep, a diving catch by Devery Henderson. Brees throws it deep to Colston, contested catch. Shane Conlon and Leon Seals both sacked Drew Brees on consecutive plays, and then he's sacked on third down by Darryl Talley. This leads to a missed John Carney field goal, and Jim Kelly throws it over the middle to old reliable Don Beebe. This would lead to, ironically, a missed Scott Norwood field goal. Next drive, Jim Kelly throws it over the middle to James Lofton. He lofts it in for a touchdown. The game is tied. P.L. Thomas, he makes it up the middle. He's avoiding tackles, getting it into Bills territory. And then Marquise Colston catches a Drew Brees touchdown pass. It's his first of the season. Last-ditch effort. Jim Kelly throws it over the middle. No, it's not a last-ditch effort. It's caught by old reliable Don Beebe. And then real last-ditch effort. 4th and 1, and Thermal Thomas can't get the first down. And the New Orleans Saints beat the Buffalo Bills 14-7. 94 Chargers at 99 Jaguars. Start off with Mark Brunell throwing it over the middle to Jimmy Smith, his favorite receiver, getting into Chargers territory, and then to Keenan McCardell. Keenan McCardell's first touchdown in a Jaguars uniform. This time Mark Brunell, he's making dangerous passes across his body. It's intercepted by Darian Gordon. Then on 3rd and 12, Stan Humphries throws incomplete to Mark Say. And the field goal by John Carney is no good. Stan Humphries in the second half, he throws it deep to Mark Say, and Mark Say gets it into Jaguars territory. And then on 3rd and 11, Stan Humphries, he's running out of the pocket. He gets sacked this time by Bryce Paup, and this leads to a punt. On the next drive, Brunell throws an interception to Darian Gordon again, and Stan Humphries says, "I'm going to do this myself." Gets the Chargers their first touchdown of the game. Mark Brunell, he doesn't want to be upstaged by Stan Humphries, and he gets his own rushing touchdown. It's a 7-point ball game. 4th and 4, Stan Humphries, he needs to be clutch on this play. He throws deep to Tony Martin, getting it into the red zone. Then Humphries gives it into the end zone to Mark Say. Touchdown. Game is tied. We go to overtime. Usually the team that gets the ball first in overtime wins. Chargers punt. And then Mark Brunell, he gives the ball to James Stewart on some weird shovel pass, and James Stewart makes it into Chargers territory. Keenan McCardell gets the pass by Brunell, making it into the red zone. Hollis knocks in a field goal, and the Jaguars just barely survive the Chargers. The Chargers have been making a game out of these things, but they keep losing.
96 Packers at 85 Bears. Hi, this is Nick Fargo bringing you this commentary as Brett Favre fires a laser to Antonio Freeman that would be capped off by an Edgar Bennett touchdown. Jim McMahon would get sacked by George Kuntz, and Jim McMahon would leave in an injury. Tom Sack would have to replace McMahon for the rest of this game. Tom Shack would be able to throw to his tight end Moorhead, who would get a little bit more after the catch. 3rd and long, Tom Shack would fake the handoff to Walter Payton and get sacked by George Kuntz. You like Bison, I prefer Yak, as Freeman gets a lot of yak after this short throw by Favre. More Yaks would pull this offensive wagon as Favre gets it to Don Beebe, who leads the way for a Chris Jackie field goal. Tom Shack would hand the ball to Walter Sweetness Payton, as Payton would not be caught until he made it to the Packers' 30-yard line. Tom Shack would cap the drive with a touchdown pass to Ken Marjoram, cutting into that Packer lead. Tom Shack would make a mistake and throw an interception to Craig Newsome. Packers get the ball back. Favre would throw, and Robert Brooks would make a spectacular catch, and Don Beebe would cap off the drive with a touchdown reception. Tom Shack sees nobody open, so he tries to do it himself, but wait! It's a fumble as the Packers recover it, and Chris Jackie would kick a field goal, 20-7 Packers. Tomchak avoids multiple defenders and finds an open man in Walter Payton, and Walter Payton would beat several defenders as he made it to the 20-yard line. And then Walter Payton, whoop, 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 he makes it all the way for a touchdown. Bears are suddenly in this game, but they have to get the onside kick, and they won't get it as the Packers hold on to win. Packers lead the NFC North.
68 Jets and 0-2 Bucks on tap for you today. This game begins with a pitch out to Michael Pittman by the Buccaneers, where he fumbles at the 35-yard line, picked up by the New York Jets. On the ensuing drive, Joe Namath with a play-action pass that fools no one. He's swallowed up by Dwight Smith to end that drive. Brad Johnson over the middle to Mike Allstott. He gets down to the 40-yard line where Gramatica attempts a field goal, and it is no good, still 0-0. Namath down the field to Saver on his next drive. He's got running room down to about the 23-yard line. Next play, Namath moving around in the pocket, throws across his body, finds Saver all by himself in the end zone, 7-0 Jets. Brad Johnson and the Bucks look to respond as he uncorks a bomb to Keyshawn Johnson into the red zone about the 7-yard line. Gramatica will cap that one off with a field goal, only a 4-point lead for the Jets. On the ensuing kickoff, the returner fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by no one else but Tom Tupa, the punter. We have a punter touchdown. This is a great day for the brand. The special teams for the Bucks continue to be just that, special. Look at the moves that Williams got. It's making a lot of guys miss here down to the 20-yard line, and he could go all the way, and he will. Back-to-back special teams plays for the Bucks put them up 17-7. Time running out for the Jets. They have to go for it on a 4th and 22. Namath in his own end zone throws over to Saver, who's been great for him all day, and he's just out of reach, incomplete. All aboard the A train is on the ensuing Bucks drive. Mike Allstott gets into the end zone, 24-7 Buccaneers. Joe Namath still trying to make something happen, handing it off to Snell. He gets some running room across midfield down to about the 40-yard line here with only a few ticks left on the clock. Namath down the field to Saver yet again, and is incomplete. And the Bucks win this one 31-7.
78 Steelers at 06 Colts. Game starts off with Thornton, the punt returner. He's weaving through defenders, making it into Colts territory. But on the next play, Terry Bradshaw throws his first interception of the season to Bob Sanders. Peyton Manning gets it started, getting the ball into Steelers territory with Brandon Stokely. But on 3rd down, he is sacked by his own coach, Tony Dungy. Terry Bradshaw throws it into Colts territory via Lynn Swann, but then on 4th down, the give goes to Rocky Bleier, and it's a turnover on downs. Next drive on the ensuing punt return, Thornton is tackled. It's a fumble. It's recovered by Joseph Live and Let It Die. And he ran all night and day. He couldn't get away. 7-0 Colts. Terry Bradshaw throws it down the field to his favorite receiver, Lynn Swann. And then again, this one, a jumping catch to get the ball close to the red zone. But then on 4th down again, Terry Bradshaw is sacked by Gary Brackett. But Peyton Manning throws it back to Mel Hit That Blunt. And then Lynn Swann helps to get the ball back to close to the red zone. And Rocky Bleier makes up for his failed conversion by getting a touchdown. Score is tied. Peyton Manning on 4th down, they decide to go for it. Tony Dungy's helping his old team, and Roy Jarella, he knocks in the go-ahead field goal. The Pittsburgh Steelers barely survive the Colts, and they stay undefeated in the BTFL. And now the battle between one-win teams, 87 Browns, 91 Lions. Rodney Peete starts it off, throwing it deep down the left side to Robert Clark, making it into Browns territory. And then Rodney Peete, he would throw it deep, and it would be intercepted in the end zone by the Browns. It's a touchback. Kozar now throws it deep to Reggie Foghorn. Langhorn making it into the red zone, and Ernest Biner finishes the drive off. Get off me! The Browns take an early 7-0 lead, and Barry Sanders, he's saying get off me too. The human highlight reel, the human joystick, Barry Sanders makes it into Browns territory. And then Robert Clark, he makes the jumping catch in the end zone for the touchdown. Game is tied. The fake fullback dive, halfback toss, Ernest Biner making it into Lions territory. And then Webster slaughters the defense over the middle. This leads to a Jeff Jager field goal. Bernie Kosar throws it deep to Ozzie Newsome. His first catch of the season. He makes it into the red zone. But Kosar makes a mistake as he throws an end zone interception. Lions get the ball, but they give it back to the Browns. Ernest Biner, he starts off at the 20-yard line, and he's making it into Lions territory, and they couldn't catch him. Ernest Biner gets the touchdown. Rodney Peete, he drops back, he throws it over the middle to Herman Moore. Last-ditch effort, he doesn't do anything with it, and the Browns have 2 wins this season, winning 17-7. 88 Bengals at 99 Titans. Game starts off with Boomer Esiason throwing it deep to Tim McGee. This leads to Jim breaching the goalpost with a field goal. It's 3-0 Bengals. Ground McNair here. Shows off the wheels, getting the ball into Bengals territory. And then, now Air McNair throws it deep into the end zone. Touchdown catch by Frank Wycheck, his first touchdown of the season. Eddie George, he had a tough beginning of the season, but like we said last week, he's really stepped it up. And he leads the Titans into the end zone for the touchdown. Score is 14-3 Titans. Ground McNair running the ball to the right. Guys falling at his feet. This would lead to a missed Al Del Greco field goal. Sticky Icky Woods. He runs down the left side, switches to the right side, then goes to the middle, getting the ball into Titans territory. And then Boomer Esiason, he throws it deep into the end zone. Touchdown Tim McGee. It is 14-10 Titans, the 4-point lead. Derek Mason, he whoop and he whoop and he whoop. He goes down the field avoiding tackles by Cincinnati Bengals defenders. And then Air McNair with the give to Frank Wycheck, setting Eddie George up inside the 5 as he runs it in for the touchdown. Boomer Esiason, jumping catch by touchdown Eddie Brown. Last-ditch effort. Esiason throws an interception to Marcus Robertson. And the Titans win 21-10 on a 2-game winning streak. 98 Vikings at 91 Redskins. Randall Cunningham, he comes back from injury, replacing Brad Johnson. Still no Robert Smith. Chris Carter, he catches a touchdown pass in the end zone. The Hall of Famer gets it. Then Mark Rippon gets safetied by Torian Gray. And Leroy Horde, he has one hell of a game running by Redskins defenders, making it into the red zone. And then Randall Cunningham, he says, I'm going to take this in my own goddamn self. He makes it into the end zone. It's 16-0. Next drive, Cunningham, the give, the pass this time to Leroy Horde as he goes by defenders, making it into the red zone again. This would lead to a Gary Anderson field goal. It's 19-0. Brian Mitchell, he gets the ensuing kickoff. He gets tackled and he gets injured. He be replaced by Ricky Irvins as a punt and kick returner. Leroy Horde again. He's having one hell of a career game in reserve for Robert Smith. They might not go back to Smith, making it into the red zone. And then Gary Anderson makes it another field goal, 22-0. Mark Rippon this time. He rips it deep to Ricky Sanders. One hell of a receiver. And then at the end of the drive, the give goes to Ernest Biner for a touchdown. Onside kick, recovered by Leroy Horde. Who would have thought it? And then Randall Cunningham ends the game with a touchdown pass to Chris Carter. Last-ditch effort. The give goes to Ernest Biner on the flip, and he makes it just a yard short of the first down. The Vikings win 29-14, and Leroy Horde has a 103-yard game.